Previously on the 1 week challenge, I actually have a week's holiday. So I've set myself a challenge and we'll see just how much of a pile I can get off the pile of shame by the end of the week. I did get bogged down on those hills. I really did struggle and sort of lost the will to live almost. Pop them into the old holes and press them down. And if you can hear soft snoring in the background, that's my son. He's had quite a long day. Batman and Nightwing. I need a break from painting miniatures. A police station. And I've got a bone to pick with War Cradle Scenics. Found that it didn't fit. Had to pull it all back off again. Early day 5 and yeah, it is almost complete. I've put that NYPD sign on just for sort of like a placeholder, and I even got the fire escapes on. I am really glad that I did this one because yeah, day 4, hump day, I needed something to get us past that, and this did it. I'm really impressed with how impressive it is. Anyway, on to other stuff. Right, back in the games room, and last night I said I knew exactly what I was going to be doing. Here you are. Come to daddy. And you'll have to excuse us for a second because I need to do a bit more fossicking round over there because there's more of these scattered around the place. And before you start, yes, you are right. This is no way to treat miniatures. This was the first sort of group army, if you want to call it that I ever bought. These are old Essex miniatures, medieval mounted knights, and they were painted not by me but by a mate of mine in the UK, Yorkie. Thanks fella. They travelled with us, packed in shoes. That was a job getting them through American customs, all the way out here, and they've kind of languished. They should be on display. He's made a gorgeous job of them. So, as I said last night, all of those inserts from the buildings will make far, far better cavalry bases than these scrappy bits of card that I had been using. Obviously, I need to pair some of them back up with the horses. It's all individual livery. He's done a really good job on it. And an awful lot of them are missing their lances, but that's fine. The Undead that I'm doing have a whole shed load of long spears, so I should be able to swap those out. So I'll get on with these. Right, I've got them sorted out into horse and rider pairs. Unfortunately, I've got a couple of spare riders left over, so the horses must be knocking around somewhere. I am sure that as I delve through the Black Archive, I will find them. Base-wise, unfortunately, I don't have enough of all the same size to make them uniform, but that's okay. I'll use these slightly longer ones. I'm not going to bother cutting them down. I'll use those slightly longer ones for guys like this, who has his lance lowered, and the shorter ones for the ones that are sort of like holding them at the ready, like this guy. I will start getting these glued onto bases, and then it's going to be ground cover, and I'll worry about the lances at a later stage once I've finished with those undead. Well, they're already looking far better with the new bases, but it's got to be said, some of them, the bottom wasn't particularly even, so I am just going to reinforce them in quite a few places, and I'm going to use the old baking soda and super glue trick. Just like that. And then I know I'll be far happier with the adhesion. And it's the usual PVA soapy water, and let's get some ground cover on these. Oh, job's a good one. Right, only 20 more to go. Right, here we are at day 6 and we're coming around the final bend. My apologies for not doing an update last night. Yesterday basically just got away on this completely with family stuff and making dinner and all that kind of thing. And it didn't help that I was busy crafting away and I suddenly found there was an emergency because my son, who's making his Space Wolves army, had used all the polystyrene cement. So anyway, where did I manage to get up to? I did manage to get some more of the Kings of War Undead done. Unfortunately, the spears that I had earmarked on those sprues are sort of battle damaged with it being undead. So I'll quickly show you where I'm up to with the cavalry. Aren't they looking far more spiffy? But what I do need to do is now go into the archives and see what spears or lances I can find, because I really do want to show these guys off in all of their former glory. Right, back out to the games room. Right. Ooh. Back in the back of the Black Archive, what have I got? A starter set and poly cement. Get in. Right, no need for a special trip. I can pick that up next week. Right, spears. Okay, I didn't show you everything that was going on in there because it was difficult to hold a camera and search in drawers at the same time. However, I did come out with a bit of a haul. Now, this is a Wargames Factory Saxons sprue, and you know, the spears on there, they would have been absolutely ideal. Unfortunately, I only had 10 of them, so it wouldn't have been uniform. That's a shame. Came across these, but unfortunately, most of them are bill hooks. The only spear that's there is a single one, so I would have only been able to get maybe half a dozen. Plus, by the time I'd sort of cut it off at the hand, it wasn't going to cut the mustard. That's unfortunate. However, what I did find was these. Right, turn it the right way up. Perry Miniatures, European Infantry Mercenaries. Round about the War of the Roses, I've got a small army for them, and those pole arms are going to be ideal. Obviously it means I'm going to be limiting myself in terms of armament when I finally do get to making this army up, but that's fine because there's handguns, there's crossbows, and there are 40 miniatures in the pack, so I'll be able to make at least half of them, if not more, spear. Right, I'll get these snipped off and down to size, but what I do want to do is concentrate on the Kings of War Undead so that I can have all of those assembled, the base material on, and hopefully get them for a black undercoat before the end of today, and then, or at least before I lose the light, and then I can go with finishing off the cavalry. Right, the remaining undead is all assembled and cleaned up, and I tell you what, I said in one of the earlier videos what a hassle I was having cleaning it up. That is because I'd been using this craft knife because my son had run off to clean up his Space Marines with me decent craft knife. Swapping to this one made things an awful lot easier. Kids. Right, what do we got? So I had already previously done some undead. I've got 20 Skeleton Command, I think they're called on the sprues. There's 15 zombies there, and there's 10 wraiths at the back. Plus a weapon and crew. Now I have the enviable task of getting the ground cover on them. Wish me luck, I'll check in later. Absolutely typical. The one day that I want to do some spray painting, and we've got 30-mile-an-hour winds outside, gusting to 45, and a thunderstorm watch. Right, I've got all the basing done on the undead. That's got to dry for a little while. Hopefully the wind will die down and I'll have a little bit of daylight left to be able to spray paint those. Here's hoping. In the meantime, I'll get on with those lances. There you go. Proof that the lances got done and they are all fitted onto their respective horses. However, the undead are on hold. Rain stopped play. Basically, as soon as the wind died down, the rain started up. So I'm going to have to be up at stupid o'clock tomorrow morning to try and get an undercoat on those. I'm going to take a break for a second, get some dinner, and then think about what I'm going to do for the rest of the evening. Alright, dinner's in the oven. It's not going to be long. I am going to make a start on this. Why not? Always loved big robots, so I'm going to have me dinner and get on with this while I'm watching the old movie Waterloo, which is on the Movies channel. There you go. Total immersion for wargaming geeks.